What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you're here before, I'm NeonMushroom, and we're going to be playing some kind of weird, spicy decks today that I ripped off from other players and slightly modified. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a Sam Black deck. Sam Black does not know who I am. Sam Black doesn't know I exist, but I'm playing one of his decks. I saw this in the Spike Colonies podcast, Lanny and Mike, and then I was in one of their rooms in Discord, and then I saw Sam Black had dropped this list. No, he didn't even drop this list. He dropped a different list, and then I trolled Sam Black's Moxfield page, and I saw this deck, and I thought, you know, there might be something here, so I really wanted to try it. Mind you, this is a warning to every mere mortal watching this. I am also a mere mortal, and Sam Black decks are, he may be the only person alive who can actually pilot his own decks. Then we got two decks today. The other one's actually also super spicy. I ripped it off of the Tireless Tribe Discord, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But what do we have here? We've got, this is Jund Specters. How does it work? We've got Jund Specters. We've got Blazing Specter, black and a red and 2 for a 2/2 flying haster. And when it deals combat damage to a player, they discard a card. Then we've got the better card, Hypnotic Specter, flying 2/2 for 3 mana, black and 1. And when it hits a player, they discard a card at random. Now these cards will take over a game on their own, but sometimes they just get attritioned out. They get removed by a removal spell, and we've got some contingencies for that. My favorite one being Sylvan Safekeeper, which is kind of a crazy pick, but it's a 1/1 for 1, and you sacrifice a land, target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. This is not a card I think I've cast in this format yet, and I did just pick up a playset in paper of the original player, the invitational, whatever, Ali Raid, however you pronounce his name. This was his invitational card. Then the rest of the deck is built out kind of in the way you think a Jund deck would be built out. He is leveraging Dark Ritual. That's why we have, 4 Hypnotic Specter, 3 Phyrexian Arena. And then we've got Duress Cabal Therapy to back up our Specters, Lightning Bolt, Birds of Paradise for super frequent turn 2, turn 3 Specters, depending on whether you get the 3-drop or the 4-drop. A functioning mana base, because Jund, or black, red, green, is actually a shard color, so we get not only a layer land, but 2 fetch lands. So our mana is going to be better than your average 3-color deck. Plus the birds is going to help quite a bit as well. And some stuff I've changed from Sam's deck because I am a mere mortal and I need the handicap. Sam was playing a full 4 Cabal Therapy, and this deck doesn't play Ravenous Rats or anything, so I'm not going to be able to leverage Cabal Therapy as well as Sam would be able to. And also 4 Phyrexian Arena seemed a little high for me. I really wanted 2 Terminates, so I did add those to the deck. I think that's the only modification I made. The sideboard is shocker, full of sideboard cards. I do want to go over some stuff though, because I think there's some pretty intelligent decisions. Engineered Plague is obviously good, but Diabolic Edict, I think it's just a solid pick. There's going to be some matchups where there's going to be a creature maybe you can't answer, especially one that comes to mind is going to be, Mystic Enforcer, the green-white hero. And then Grim Lavamancer also seems like an awesome choice to me. We're doing Red Blast, Phyrexian Negator is one of which is a little bit scary. And the nice thing about this over Machine Head is we get Naturalize in the sideboard, because artifacts and specifically enchantments can be problematic for this deck. I have no clue how it's going to go. We're going to find out together. Let's hop into some games. All right, we found an opponent, and they mulliganed to 6 cards, and this hand contains 1 black source and a Birds of Paradise. So, like, this hand wants to go turn 2 birds, and it needs the birds to live to function. So I think this hand, because the Darigaaz Caldera, is not going to be a good pick to play birds on turn 1. So I think we have to mulligan this hand. This hand has, let's see here, Birds of Paradise. Same problem. Our green source is not greening very hard. That said, this hand also contains Terminate. Maybe we can kind of shake this one if our Bolt is good. I think we have to keep this. I don't want to go to 5. We'll pitch the redundant Hypnotic Specter. Played my first Premodern event Saturday with the Zombie Infestation Solitary Confinement Brew and had an absolute blast. I'm stoked to hear that. You love to see it. Please play Birds of Paradise off your City of Brass. Please play It's a Nimble Mongoose. Chat, we can't bolt that. All right, let's draw a green source. It's not a green source. All my removal looks really fucking stupid right now. Here's a Bloodstained Mire into a pass. No Tundras in this format. Or not Tundra, Taiga. So I can't go get a green source off this Bloodstained Mire. That's sad. Yeah, attack for 1's good. I'm at 19. End step. We'll take a raw draw first before we decide what to fetch with. All right, Duress. Perhaps Duress is the correct play. Let's fetch. Let's go grab a swamp. Let's tap it for black. Let's Duress our opponent and bring their Nimble Mongoose even closer to threshold. They're fetching. That's fine. All right. Are you going to counterspell my Duress or what? Mental note? Sure. So they're trying to do that threshold thing. All right, we get Gush, Bolt, Diamond. Mystic Enforcer is a horrifying prospect. I think they don't have the second island for Gush. Do we wing it and just try to not? I'm going to take this Bolt. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Bolt. They're at 5 in the bin, so this This Mystic Enforcer is looking a little bit spooky. But as of right now, they can't play anything in their hand. So we'll play Darigaaz's Caldera, trigger the Caldera, bounce the Swamp to our hand, and then we're going to get that Birds of Paradise into play. And if they whiff here, maybe we play the Specter and try to like remove that Mystic Enforcer from their hand the lucky way. Of course, they draw an island for turn. That sucks. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, you got it, opponent. Nice one. Yep, Diamond. I'm F6ing. I've got nothing to do. All right, Diamond's gone. Gush is gone. Their hand is 4 cards. One of them's an island. They're going to play their Mystic Enforcer. I think that kills us. Unless we like randomly draw another Bolt. Because they are very thresholded right now, which is not good. And yeah, we have to concede this game. They've got a creature with Shroud and a creature with Flying and Pro Black. That's going to be a no-go for us. So we were talking about earlier, Diabolic Edict should be pretty good here. Plague, I don't think we're plaguing on Mongoose. Gator, they could have Bolt. They do have access to red. I think we're not going to bring in Gator. Spitting Darkness, no. Skeletal Scrying, I don't think so. Naturalize, I don't know if we want to just naturalize Mox Diamonds. What else would they bring in? I think it might just be 2 Diabolic Edicts. And in return, I think Terminate's pretty bad. You saw, I did see Bolt, got it. I actually saw the Bolt. So we know about the Bolt. So Negator's definitely bad. I think, let me see, Terminate doesn't kill Mystic Enforcer. Terminate doesn't kill their Wild Mongoose. Yo, what's up, Neon? Are you a cube guy? Not really, but I do sometimes play cube. I've been working on my Premodern cube. The mailbox has been like Christmas all week. I love those weeks where you have a bunch of orders coming in. Oh my God, what's going on, baby? How you doing? Yeah, I think it's just 2 Diabolic Edicts, and I wonder if I'm supposed to take out 2 Terminates for it, because that game I didn't have a single target for Terminate, so I think that's the route we're gonna go. Immediately, I'm getting mogged by Sam Black for putting Terminate in his build that didn't contain Terminate and getting punished for it. All right, Pauper Team Quintet. Now, our opponent did get quite lucky. Top decking the island at that spot was as good as things could get. This hand, unfortunately, is very bad. We've got a Safekeeper, 2 Birds of Paradise. Our hand's full of mana and a 1/1. That ain't gonna quite cut it, so we're gonna mulligan. This hand has Phyrexian Arena, Specter. Yeah, we've got stuff here. Our opponent's unlikely to give us something to bolt, so I think we're just gonna keep this and pitch the bolt and call that good, and we'll open on Treetop Village and pass. I'm trying to decide if I want to build a deck with Psychotog or build out Oath Ponza. Those are 2 totally different decks, so it depends on what you're in the mood for. Flooded Strand, that doesn't make a Mongoose, but that could. Mox Diamond, but they don't. They're just passing to us, which is fine with me. Take a draw, it's a Duress, so we'll go Swamp and Duress you. What you got, bro? Duh, of course we saw Bolt. We literally took it off the Duress. I'm really glad we didn't bring in our Phyrexian Negator. Are you counterspelling this or not? Sure, you're up. And then next turn, we're gonna try to staple this Bloodstained Mire to the ground, and we'll try to staple the Phyrexian Arena to the ground, rather. We really need a red source now because of that Werebear, so it might make more sense to just hold off on this arena. Yeah, I think we have to. We'll go Bloodstained Mire, fetch for red. We gotta bolt this Werebear before it becomes like an actual threat. So Mountain, we're just waiting to draw. We're kind of in the waiting room for drawing black source number 2. Bolt the bear. Here, I guess they could fetch Gush. I don't really care about that. Mental Note would blow us out though, I think, right? Oh no, they have Mental Note. Oh, that's so fucking bad, guys. This is a real bad round 1 for us. All right, green. Sylvan Safekeeper. Maybe we should have waited on the Bolt just to see if they would cast the Mental Note, but I don't think our opponent is that dumb. I think they would have caught that. Yeah, it's a big problem. Gro-A-Tog seems so fun to play. Gro-A-Tog is a blast to play. It is one of the harder decks in the format though, so bear that in mind. Speaking of bears, here comes the Werebear. I'll take 4, dropping to 15. We need some help to get, we need our opponent's hand to be pretty thin, I think, in order to win this game. And we kind of need to rip the black source. We can't afford to protect our Safekeeper with its own ability. They're gonna play a second Werebear. Yeah, I don't know how I beat this. This is a deck I've been thinking about playing as well. I guess we'll play this out since we kind of just have the cards in our hand. We'll fetch, but I think we're just straight up dead, especially if the last card in their hand's Gush. Blazing, 1, 2, 3, 4, attack, beep. And then we need like runner to get back into this game. All right, what was your last card? All right, just a land, got it. Pass to you. Now, notably, we can block a bear if we need to. Like, we're gonna take 8 here, but we can like fire up the Treetop Village and double block with the Blazing Specter. Double, triple bonus points if we rip a bolt right now, and we're able to gang up that way and drop to 2. We draw Call of the Herd. Actually, I've seen worse things. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and play Call of the Herd. And we kind of can't afford to attack, so we're just gonna pass. If our opponent bricks, we've got a chance. If our opponent has gas, there's no chance we're winning this game. But I do love the idea of like blue, red, green threshold. This deck idea seems really sweet to me. Our opponent's attacking. Either they know they're in a spot that if they're blanking too long in a row, they're just gonna get attritioned out, or they've just got a removal spell. Mental Note's fine. AK to the bin. AK is fine. Draw 2. You're down to 1. You got a bolt. Combat damage. They got to take out the Specter, I think. Could be wrong about that, I guess. Unless they've got like Bolt in their hand and they can just go face with Bolt, that would be pretty bad. Untap, draw another Call of the Herd. Again, I've seen worse things. Let's cast the one from the graveyard though. Or is Daze a possibility? I think it might be. We're gonna Call the Herd from the hand actually. I ain't trying to get dazed. All right, City Brass deals a damage to you. All right, they're gonna counterspell. I'm gonna give myself a block on this Werebear and see if I can draw it for one more turn. Of course, we took out the Terminates. I didn't even think about the fact that of course Werebear's in this deck, and I took out my Terminate. So now it's like, I hope they don't play another creature if I have to Edict. Attack for 4, go to blocks, no thanks. What else we got? We can kind of sit here and block for a couple of turns, but our best top deck is just this. Let's stop them in their upkeep, and we'll just pass to end step in your upkeep. I want to tap a little different like that. Diabolic Edict you. Thanks to our life total, there's no way we're playing this Phyrexian Arena. All right, they've got a Gush. This is bad. Now, what I will say about their deck is I don't know how consistent this deck is. I don't know how we're supposed to beat a deck like this. But the way their deck is designed with all these Gushes and these Gemstone Mines seems a little bit sketchy to me. I think like a linear known higher tier deck would probably just destroy this, but that doesn't make me want to try it any less. All right, Mongoose will do it. Now Edict isn't even a top deck. All right, they got us good. That's fine. We're going back in. Boom. All right, found another opponent. Let's see if we don't get destroyed again this time with this Sam Black build. But we are on the draw, unfortunately. That's sad. I'm such a big fan watching videos all the time. Oh, thank you. Good luck. You're gonna be in one, exclamation point. All right, this hand. We've got Swamp, no Dark Ritual, Forest. Mana weakness is kind of showing here. This Terminate is uncastable, so we have to mulligan. This hand has Duress, removal spell, Blazing Specter. I'm so nervous now. Don't be, it's a brewery. It's a brew. We'll keep this. And then I think we're shipping, we got our green from Llanowar Wastes, and I think we do need to worry about double black. So maybe we're just pitching our Wooded Foothills. Let's go. And our opponent is unfortunately for us on the play. My boy Bobby, he was at the event on Saturday. He actually just picked up Gro-A-Tog. And that deck, I do recommend that deck, but in certain metagames, like there are known decks that are just gonna like end your run if you're having a good one. One of them's the Rock. The Rock's actually super hard for Gro-A-Tog. Other ones are like Moneyball Black can be difficult, although not as difficult as the Rock because Pernicious Deed is actually the real linchpin in that matchup. But all of your unfair matchups and all of your like high tier like creature based decks and stuff, those are good matchups. Like, and I mean very good matchups. You're super stoked to play into those. All right, we're playing a Birds of Paradise. That was a good top deck. That means if we draw a hippie, we can play a hippie. That means if we draw like, I don't know, Cabal Therapy, we can go like Duress Cabal Therapy, Lightning Bolt. They're playing a Mox Diamond. If this is another Mystic Enforcer deck, I'm gonna have a fucking panic attack. Sword, sure, yeah, that's fine. Luckily that bird wasn't holding her hand together. This could just be T-Ged, which is like not great for us, but let's see what we can stitch together. We'll go Swamp, tap it, Duress. Let's see if this hits. If there's 2 targets, I can do it again. There are so fucking many hits. We're gonna take Armageddon. That's the biggest problem for us. And then I think we're also gonna do it again. I don't want them to mulch. I don't super duper care about Gaia's Blessing. You can have that one. Then we'll just pass the turn. So we know that the only card in their hand's Blessing plus the mystery card they're about to draw. They fetch, go to your turn, they untap. Little Brushland, that was their top deck, so they probably need the Blessing right now. They're gonna fire up the Treetop Village, that's interesting. So they're just gonna leave that Blessing in their hand, that's fine. This Blazing Specter, well, it's not gonna come down until the turn after next, if I find the land drop, so we're not even gonna think about that yet. We'll just take a draw. It's Darigaaz's Caldera. We're not gonna play that yet because we do want a Blazing Specter next turn. So I'll just play a Bloodstained Mire and pass the turn. We'll see if this disincentivizes them from attacking us. Maybe they'll see the red source and go, oh, let me just, and black source is untapped. Let me just Gaia's Blessing. No, they're gonna fire up the Treetop Village. Okay, we'll wait for them to attack. And then we're gonna get it. Beep. Okay, fetch. Here's my mountain. Tap it for a red. Bolt the Treetop Village. Did you find another land? You did. Okay. Now you can Gaia's Blessing. I wonder what they're supposed to Blessing. Probably just like the money spells, Armageddon, Swords to Plowshares, plus like maybe even Treetop Village. Let's see what they go with. They go with Mulch, Swords to Plowshares, and that's it. That's interesting. No response. I wouldn't have hated getting a Treetop Village back in their spot. They've only got 1 left in hand, so this Blazing Specter is about to be awesome. Let's go black, red, colorless, Darigaaz's Caldera, trigger it, bounce the Llanowar Wastes, tap Darigaaz's for black, Blazing Specter, and we're just hoping to fade Oath of Druids. Attack for 2. They take the 2. They pitch just a Brushland. Nothing too exciting. We'll pass. Now, we've also got nothing too exciting going on. They're already hellbent. Is this a rack deck or just Jund hand hate? This is just Jund hand hate. 8 Specters even. It's pretty cool. Ooh, speaking of 8 Specters. Okay, these Specters not as important now because they're already hellbent. But the more Specters, the more clock. So we'll go Treetop Village, tap for 1, 2, 3, Hippie. And now they need like a tier 4. They need Scary Terry in order to get back into the game. So I guess what I'm saying is, opponent, please don't draw Scary Terry. Abeyance? Yeah, that's fine. You draw a card. They just cantrip for 2 mana and white. That's busted. It's going to be actually busted if they drew a Scary Terry. Looks like they're holding a card in their hand though. All right, all on tap. I'll draw. Well, I'm here to do one thing. Let's fire up the old Treetop Village. Put them on the old 3-turn clock. Go to combat, attack with all my dudes. If you got a swords, now's the time to cast it. You must have an Armageddon. What else could be in your hand right now? Oh, it's a Decree of Justice. That's so good. That's so good for me. Let's play a Bloodstained Mire and just ship the turn. Now, not even Scary Terry saves them, I don't think. There's not enough lands in the graveyard to actually turn the corner. White, sure. Get like a second Abeyance. Scroll Rack. They would like to die with a Scroll Rack in play, which I respect. Maybe they haven't counted that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, which is equal to their 7 points of life. All right, we get there. First game win of the stream. Let's go. What do we want versus what I'm just assuming is T-Ged, Terrageddon? This is a matchup where I'm actually actively happy to have Terminate. Naturalize seems quite good against Oath of Druids. Red Elemental Blast, not so much. Grim Lavamancer, not so much. Sylvan Scrying, I could see a world where that's fine. Spinning Darkness, maybe not. Gator is interesting. They don't really deal damage. Their removal is going to be like swords. So if I can get a Negator into play underneath what they're doing, maybe that's insane. I don't think I want these. I could see one in these. So I think these are the 6 that I'm actually maybe interested in. And these are all kind of stinky doo-doo. What don't we want? Does Bolt suck? If they weren't an Oath of Druids deck game 1, they certainly became one. I think we're going to remove our Bolts. That said, Bolt is a nice answer to their Treetop Villages. So maybe like a pair of Bolts or something. We want all of our hand disruption because we're almost certain they're going to be on Oath. Call of the Herd actually seems a little bit medium in this matchup. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I could see cutting like, let's cut 2 Call of the Herd, 2 Lightning Bolt. I think my Specters are actively all good. Phyrexian Arena seems fine. Yeah, let's leave 1 Bolt in the deck. And then is Skeletal Scrying a necessity? I think so. This matchup has the propensity to go kind of long. Maybe like cut a Blazing Specter, although I don't love that either. Though we're on the draw. Maybe just like 1 Blazing Specter, something like this. I don't know. Maybe I just made my deck worse. We'll see. Submit. All right, this hand has a turn 1 Phyrexian Arena. Kind of like that. Let's keep it. Alternatively, we could go like Dark Ritual into Cabal Therapy. No, we can't do birds. All right, it won't matter anyway because they've got a Mox Diamond. So if they have the Oath, they've got the Oath. But they did not play an Oath. Therefore, I think we're going to Dark Rit into a Phyrexian Arena. Unless we want to like Cabal Therapy, Scary Terry. Is there like a shot that that's better? I don't have removal for it right now. Okay, I'm into it. Llanowar Wastes, tap for a black Cabal Therapy, U Terravor. We're going to wait on the Phyrexian Arena. Show me Terravor. Damn. We got Swords, Abeyance. Okay, their hand does not look very good though. F6. I wonder why they kept that. I mean, I guess if you're playing T-Ged, you just kind of keep whatever hand. They're going to cycle Secluded Step. That's fine. I'm not actually concerned about any of the cards they do have in hand, although there's 2 new mystery cards. So because I Cabal Therapy'd Scary Terry, the chance that they just jam it now, I think is like X20. Not super good for us. Next turn, I will go Birds of Paradise, Dark Ritual, Phyrexian Arena. Unless they like abeyance us in our upkeep, which would be like actually a shocker. They abeyance us in upkeep. Are they like watching the stream? I think so. They've got like no reason to think we're doing anything on turn 2. Let's go. Yeah, we'll just play out the Pain Lands. Let's go tap for a green Justin, this and that. Oh, nice. Found you online. How's it going? Chilling, dude. Playing some Magic the Gathering online. Let's go with a green. Interestingly, if I go to Dark Rit, they can actually just abeyance in response. So maybe it's actually correct to hold these Dark Rits and try to get them to cycle the abeyance because it's instant or, oh, it's just instant or sorceries. Okay. No, it's fine. Black Dark Ritual. And then here's my Phyrexian Arena. Did you draw Disenchant? Because we're passing. They fetched down to 19. Please don't Oath me. Although they're probably supposed to Swords the Birds unless they have exactly Oath right now somehow. There's a Brushland. They're not going to Swords the Birds. They're not worried. They're just worried about the creatures that we can play. So Phyrexian Arena is going to do its thing. We're going to lose a life and draw a card. Are they going to Swords the Birds now? They know I have Cabal Therapy. Abeyance? Sure. I can't cast instant or sorcery spells. All right, I can cast this Blazing Specter though. So let's go green, black, green. Nope, that doesn't work. Red, green, black, colorless. You know, we know that they have the swords, right? And sure, we can't Cabal Therapy them right now because we can't cast instants or sorceries, right? Yeah, or sorceries. What if we just wait? Yeah, I think we're just gonna wait. What we can do is, because we've got the red source in hand, what we can do is we can either they're gonna swords the bird so I can't Cabal Therapy them, or they're not, and then I'll sacrifice the bird and Cabal Therapy them, naming swords. Either way, we're pretty happy to make the transaction. But that's why I don't want to cast Blazing Specter. There's just a known Swords to Plowshares in hand. All right, there's a scroll rack, so that's going to make it a little bit more awkward. All right, are we passing? Looks like it. All right, we're going to take an untap, and we're going to draw 2. This Phyrexian Arena is just in play. Getting 2 cards a turn feels good. Jund Machine Head, Jund Specters. It's Machine Head-ish. We're going to go Woody Footies, and then we're going to go tap for a black, and we're going to Cabal Therapy our opponent. We should have flashed the one back. That way they don't rack in response. I shouldn't have shown them that I have one in hand, but it doesn't matter. I can Cabal Therapy up to 3 times right now. If they rack in response and they hide their swords, then I don't get swords. I'm still going to name swords because I have no clue about what else could be in their hand. What are we doing, opponent? Okay, dokie. No response. Let's name swords to plowshares. Swords to plowshares. I don't see it. There's just 3 lands and a Gaia's Blessing, so we don't even need to flash it back. That's fine. And then we're going to go fetch. We're going to grab a basic mountain here just to play around stuff. We'll go black, green, or green, red, black, colorless. Play Blazing Specter. Go to combat. Attack them. Hit them for 2. They're going to discard a card. And do we just flashback Therapy hitting the Blessing anyway? I think we might. What did they pitch? Tranquil Thicket? Yeah, we're going to Therapy their Blessing anyway just to get them lower on cards. We don't need this birds anymore, I don't think. Gaia's Blessing. Please discard that card from your hand. All right, now we know that their hand contains, what was it? Plains Windswept Heath? I think that's it. And we know on the top of their deck, there is a Swords to Plowshares. We've already played our land. They're very likely to just rip Swords to Plowshares and maybe rack for 2, unless they put their cards in the wrong order and they have to rack first. But they do need to deal with this Blazing Specter because right now, the tempo of the game is I'll draw 2 cards a turn and they'll draw none a turn because of this Blazing Specter. And I don't care what they draw, they can't win that game. There's the swords. I will happily gain 2 here because my Phyrexian Arena is hurting me. Then they'll tap for 2 and cast Mulch. I don't care about that. Although it is a rigged Mulch because they scroll racked, so they're probably guaranteed to hit a few lands here. Yeah, they hit Windswept Heath, Plains, and Windswept Heath. So you get Windswept Heath, Plains, Windswept Heath. They played what? Treetop Village? And they've got 3. So we actually have perfect info on their hand now. It's 3 lands. All right, let's draw some gas. This is the turn to draw just like another Blazing Specter. Lose a life, draw a card, and then draw for turn. No luck, but we can double call here. Is that correct? Is my math right? Let me see. Dark Ritual for 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. Yeah. Black, Dark Rit for 3 black mana. Green, Call of the Herd. 1, 2. Make an elephant. Green, colorless, red, Call of the Herd. Pass turn. All right, that's not bad. Although the longer this game goes, the worse that scroll rack gets for me. I actually wouldn't mind a Naturalize to beat up on the scroll rack. Right now they're doing, speaking of Sam Black, there's another Sam Black deck that Lanny was playing. It's like the Mulch Tithe deck, and it's all about rigging mulches. So you like scroll rack a bunch of cards, they're wrathing, that's not great. You rig your mulches, and then you mulch, and it's like always a draw for it. It makes your scroll rack like as close to the power level as it used to be with the old, what do you call it decks? The old land tax parfait decks. All right, unfortunately our black costs life, but I will conserve some by paying a black for Dark Ritual and then dropping this Hypnotic Specter. And can I afford to play this second arena? I don't think that I can. Yeah, I don't think I can. We just have to pass. I think this game's about over. I think our opponent is going to overcome the pressure we've put on them because we just weren't able to put pressure on fast enough. There's an Oath. All right, if we don't draw Disenchant or, Naturalize, we're just going to concede, I think. That is if our opponent takes another action. I have no clue what they're doing. Hey, Shroom. I hope you're doing good, man. That deck you were talking about seemed like a pain to pilot. Even Lanny mentioned that when he was trying it out. Yeah, that deck looks really, really hard. Like Lanny's a monster player. The dude's an absolute demon. All right, second Oath probably just kills us. Let's see what we draw, though. Phyrexian Arena deals a damage to us. It's a birds. Yeah, we're just going to take a concede here. Give ourselves time to play game 3. All right. Yeah, the deck is the Tithe Mulch deck is like super hard to play. If Lanny had trouble, then so will everyone else that tries it. I don't think we're changing very much. On the play, I could see Blazing Specter being better than like this Skeletal Scrying. Just try to get them dead. Because I think if I set up the Skeletal Scrying, meaning we're going into the long game, I think we're going to get max punished for it. I think we're just going to do this. But yeah, Lanny's an absolute monster player. So him struggling to play the deck optimally is a signal that if you're a mere mortal like me or like most of the other people you see on this channel, maybe play a deck that doesn't require, you know, a fucking NVIDIA 5080 Ti super graphics card installed up here just to have the processing power to pilot the deck. Because the thing about Sam Black brews, specifically Sam Black, who's a very talented player and a very talented brewer, is that he is more than actually, I wouldn't even say he is an above average player by far, but I wouldn't say that's his biggest strength. His biggest strength is like, it's hard to figure out what he's thinking and how his brain is actually working. He thinks about the game in a different way, and that kind of lets him pilot different decks and through different situations than most people can. Okay, I would like to play first, yes. Oh, cool. Dark Red into Phyrexian Arena, 1 billion lands. Are we signing up for that? I don't know. Chat, do we keep turn 1 Phyrexian Arena and draw 2 cards a turn for the foreseeable future? Hope we don't get disenchanted. Chat, I'm letting you vote. First vote nails it. First person to say keeper mulligan, I'm doing it. My thinking is mulligan. Just because, nope, cool, perfect. Thank you for saving me. My thinking is mulligan. Dark Red Terminate hit Blazing Specter. This hand is Grease Monkey, you were too late. I would have kept it if you answered first. Foothills, yeah, this is all fine. Pitch that, done. We're gonna open on Duress and we need to top deck pretty well. So we'll go Llanowar Wastes, tap for a black, Duress, U. Gaia's Blessing, Sylvan Library, Abeyance. See ya, Sylvan Library. Pass turn. Little Plains action, no further actions, cool. All right, I will take one, I don't even know what I would take here. 1 Dark Ritual? We know they don't have a swords right now. What if I go black? Darigaaz's Caldera makes red. Yeah, let's go. Darigaaz's Caldera. Trigger the Caldera. Bounce the Llanowar Wastes. Use the black to dark ritual. Tap for red. Hope they didn't peel swords off the top. Go to combat. Attack for 2. Did you find it, opponent? 18. They pitch a Windswept Heath, probably. Yeah, Windswept Heath. And we know 4 or 5. All right, I mean, this isn't bad. Is this green white slide? Oh, no. This is probably not card for card, but this is very close to Sam Black's Tithe Mulch deck. You do need to keep in mind that mulliganing makes your deck angry at you. It takes it personally, increasing the chance of you flood or starve. True words have never been spoken. All right, we see a brush land. We didn't know about that one, so there's only 2 mystery cards in hand now. Let's see if this Blazing Specter can continue to do work. Sure, you've advanced. Llanowar Wastes that you knew about, go to combat, attack you. I would like you to discard a card, please. Beep. All right, they pitch Gaia's Blessing, so the only card we know about now is Windswept Heath. Pass to you. All right, we know no more information. 4 mystery cards in hand. Oath of Druid, sure. The first oath thing we can actually terminate, so we're like kind of live to draw Naturalize at some point. Hippie, yeah, we'll go to combat. Attack for 2. Beep, beep. Down to 13. Trigger the Specter. Please pitch 1 card. It's a Treetop Village, sure. Let's go with a... Do we need Wooded? I want to keep Terravor smaller, even though I'm paying life to play this. We're going to get this Hippie into play. We have a very small chance to win this game. Now, if they don't oath into Terravor, if it's something terrifying like an Acroma, we get got. That's just the way it is. Oh, it's an Ancestors Chosen. That's crazy. They're going to gain how much life? Cool. Cool. Okay, that was fun. Good job, opponent. This is brutal. Okay, we'll get 1 more in. That was sad. I was like, I can beat a Terravor. You know, we can't beat gaining 28 life or whatever, 48 life. That was insane. We got 1 more. I want to get 1 more. Let's see if we can get a win on this deck. Therapy, Duress, Birds. I mean, this is the tear your hand apart hand. We just need follow-ups off the top. We can't cast this Birds. Notable. So we've really only got Duress into Therapy. We've got a Bolt, though. I think we're keeping. Spicy and Premodern in the same sentence, I'm in. Yeah, the deck we've got after this is actually significantly spicier than this one. I think this is the last game we're playing with this deck. It depends on how fast it goes. If it goes fast enough, maybe we get 1 more, but it depends on things. All right, green source off the top, please. Green source off the top, please. Oh, it's not a green source. That sucks. Swamp, tap it, Duress, U. All right, looks like just Dead Guy Al. What could they Enlighten Tutor for that I care about? I don't know if there's anything. An Enlighten Tutor puts them down a card. And like, what could they cast on 2 off Enlighten Tutor? I guess we take the Enlighten Tutor, simply because I don't want them to like, I can take Enlighten Tutor now, then the Phyrexian Arena next turn, and stop them from like having a card advantage engine. Because I imagine that's what they go to get with their Enlighten Tutor, right? Phyrexian Arena number 2. Yeah, we'll take the Tutor. I could see that being wrong. Pass the turn. If I was opponent, I would have considered tutoring in response. All right, there's a Swamp. We knew about that one. Pass them to me. All right, I think we need to get that, ooh, Duress? Say less. Duress you? Oop, I grabbed the wrong card. What else is new? I just like auto-clicked it. All right, Vindicate's gone. We know they got Swamp, Caves, Phyrexian Arena, Wasteland. That's their whole hand. So it's salvageable. We'll go Bloodstained Mire, fetch for a swamp, tap it, Cabal Therapy, you, Phyrexian Arena. You can have a bunch of lands in your hand. They have caves, wastelands, swamp, full stop. Go ahead. And if they draw like an angel and they morph it, we can fetch for, we don't even need to fetch for a red source. We just have a red source. What we want to do now is start drawing specters at breakneck speeds. There's 8 of them in the deck. So crazier things have happened. Little factory, that was the top deck. Looks like they're passing. We'll take a draw. A little green source, a little bit of a green source. Yeah, I think we want to get this bird in play. Bird, because they're probably going to want to wasteland the Llanowar Wastes. So I just want to like get a gold source into play right now. That way, if they miss on like another Vindicator or Swords to Plowshares, we can like drop a Blazing Specter next turn if we top deck it. This has to be just what? Yeah, man up the factory. We are the factory. Get in. Then I think a smart opponent would wasteland my Llanowar Wastes right now. We have not shown them red. There's the wasteland. Crack it. Don't be silly. Yep, it's cracked. Good job. There's only 1 mystery card left in their hand, and we draw Blazing Specter. Come on, deck, just do it. Why we stopped in my upkeep? Do you have like Vendetta in your hand? Mountain. Tap, 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 tap. Blazing Specter. Oh, yes. Combat. Can't smother these. Hope you don't find swords. That'd be bad for me. Attack for 2. Take 2. Go to 18. You're going to drop a caves probably. No, it's a swamp. They probably want the second white. And then we pass. All right, opponent. Now, dead draw for 3 turns in a row. Let's see here. By the way, Shroom, on a whole different topic. I noticed Andrew from Have You Played did a really nice video recently where he just opened a whole bunch of Premodern cards that came in the mail. Thought it was a really, where is it? Thought it was really cool. Have you ever considered doing a video like that where you could also talk a bit about the cards and the format? I, for one, think it'd be cool to watch. I could see doing that as like exclusive content or something, but doing that for generalist content on YouTube, and this is just me being a little bit transparent. I do, I make money doing this, shocker. And to put up a video that I think would probably get like 500, 600, 700 views, as cool as that would be, analytically, it's murder on YouTube. Like it'll absolutely implode the next 2 or 3 uploads I put up. I could see doing it as like maybe on a B channel or put it up for like the Patreons, or even better yet, try to put it up in some way that it couldn't be on my Premodern main channel, if that makes sense. Because I do like the idea of doing that, to be clear. Let's go to combat. Well, maybe we go to combat first. We're gonna attack for 2, but I did see that video. Andrew's the shit. I'm really excited to do some collabing with Andrew on the tournament we had over last Saturday. That's gonna be super fun. Pitch a card, please. All right, cool. It's time for Call of the Herd. Think about that. Pass to you. All right, now the thing is if they have an Exalted Angel, they kind of have to play it right now. Land, sure. If they have an Angel, they have to morph it. Otherwise, they're going to discard it to the Blazing Specter. Are they morphing it? That'd be so good for us because we're just going to bolt it. Yep, there it is. Okay, achieved. They're passing to us. Red, bolt your Angel. Watch that be a zombie cutthroat. It's a Bane of the Living? Oh, shit, that would have been so bad. That would have been so bad. Thank God it wasn't. Okay, go to combat. I'll attack with my elephant. I'm fine with them manning up the factory to trade with the elephant. I don't really give a shit. Taking 5. Blazing Specter triggers. I don't think I can afford to be afraid of a second Bane of the Living. I think I just kind of got to like keep putting my clock in play. Call the Herd and pass. When I stop and think about how little play Bolt sees in Premodern, I know reasons, but I still find it strange. It's freaking Lightning Bolt, dude. The problem isn't the power level of the card. The power level of the card is high, like beyond the moon. It's a crazy powerful. The issue in Premodern is that Bolt is trying to act like a removal spell, and its competition as a removal spell is steep. It's like very steep competition for removal spells. You're competing with like Swords to Plowshares, that's huge. So then you have to start to really analyze how good is this card as reach, as like bolt your face. And then you have to analyze, does your deck want reach out of this card? Does it want to go face? Do I want to spend a card to increase the clock without putting anything into play, without getting like card advantage? Because Bolt's card disadvantage if you're not removing something. The number of decks that want to do that is kind of small. You wind up with like Sly, decks like the one we're playing here, the Solution, who leverages it as another piece of removal, because the Solution kind of just plays its game based on like, I have so much removal that you won't have a threat for the whole game. Spectre's a fine draw here. But the decks that Bolt sees play in are phenomenal. And Bolt is one of the best cards in the decks that it sees play in. It's just, I don't think we need to play the Specter, right? No, I mean, it's not that they can flip Bane. They do have white. I guess we'll play around Wrath of God or whatever. But that's what's going on with Bolt. But Bolt, play it in this format where it makes sense. And this format probably has a few Bolt decks we're not even aware of. But I think that's what's going on with Bolt. All right, that was game 1. It looks like Dead Guy Al, but with like Bane of the Living for some reason. I think we want Naturalize in this matchup. I don't know that we want Grim. I don't know that we want Red. We definitely don't want Red Blast. Curse Scroll. Scrying could be good. Spinning Darkness, probably not. Negator, probably fine. medium. Edict, like probably above rate. I think Bolt's like kind of just medium in this matchup as well. Do they have hippies, do we think? I think they probably do. Maybe Bolt's pretty good. Maybe I'd only bring in one Edict. Bring out like one Specter, bring out like some number of Bolts, like one. Bring out, I actually like Safekeeper in this matchup. Bring out all my Cabal Therapies, I think. Something like that. Something like that. Let's do this. The main threats are literally enchantments or 12/12. It's almost better to sideboard Bolt in against aggro. Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. That's not totally true. The main threats are also Priest of Titania and Goblin Lackey. Goblins and Elves are two of the biggest decks in the format. I mean, that's why decks like Gro-A-Tog are contenders in the format, because they eat those decks. If those decks didn't exist, you wouldn't have a reason to play that deck. This deck does a turn 1 hippie, and I like that, so we're gonna keep it. They like Bane of the Living. They do like Bane of the Living. Mox Diamond, sure. What do we want to do on turn 2 here? Little Duress? Okay, they're probably gonna take my Phyrexian Arena, unless they're super heads up and they take my Dark Ritual. Taking my Naturalize would be like the weirdest thing to see. Also, Mox Diamond, super weird pick here for a deck like this. A deck that's presenting like Darigaaz, and another black Cabal Therapy. Yeah, that's fine. We're just gonna play this game. They're down on 2 cards, and that's why I took my Cabal Therapies out, because if we're both playing Duress Cabal Therapy, they maybe have Gerard's Verdict. I don't want to top deck discard spells. Wouldn't be shocked if they take Naturalize here. Could be hippie though. All right, they see the Naturalize. So that they're telling me right now that Mox Diamond is load bearing. Birds is kind of cool. I think I'm just gonna put this hippie into play and make it an immediate problem. Black, Dark Rit, Hypnotic Specter. Hell, is that broccoli soup? Me? Who? A black-white control decks as opposed to Darigaaz like Bane. Yeah, and this probably, well, here's the thing about this being black-white control. Phyrexian Arena is not a card you see in black-white control. That's a weird one. Also, our opponent's passing because they probably want to like Swords or Hypnotic Specter, but like just do it now. Like do it in your main phase. Why are we, you're gonna stop me before damage? Who cares? Sure, dude. Yeah, 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Forest, birds, go. Our opponent just put themselves in a position to have to top deck better than us for the whole game, which they could do, but it's a coin flip. Swords, sure. You just Swords the mana source. You've seen my hand. It's just full of lands. Let's just go Bloodstained Mire, pass. And it just comes down to like, do I draw heat or removal or like my own Phyrexian Arena before they draw their thing, whatever their thing is. 1, 2, 3, they draw their Phyrexian Arena. Let's see if we can rip Naturalize number 2. Lightning Bolt, not quite. We'll go Forest and pass. Our top decking is pretty medium. Also, yeah, noting that they might be actually on a more controlling version, maybe game 3 if we don't make it out of this game 2 with this Phyrexian Arena in play. We like drop some bolts, maybe bring in some more linear threats. Pass to me, take an untap, take a draw, swamp. Okay, we've just drawn a land every turn. That's pretty bad. What are the odds on a 5-color black brew? Have you only seen white-black cards? Correct. Very low odds. They're playing Salt Flats, brother. I think if you were on a 5-color black-white brew, you'd probably play Grand Coliseum. Tap, tap, tap. Graveworm Muse? Okay, sure. Pass to me. Let's eat that Graveworm Muse. Grab a mountain. Now I'm kind of happy to see this bolt. Get out of here. My turn. Untap. Draw. Lightning Bolt again. Well, Darigaaz's. Trigger. Bounce Forest. Go. I'm also confused by Mox. Our opponent is top decking better than us, which is like, when you put yourself in that position, you're either going to top deck better or worse than your opponent. They have chosen top deck better here, which is good for them. But the way they played the early game, they were just as likely for me to rip like bomb, and then just die to them. So I really don't like the strategy they took here, which was like, go to Hellbent to get you to 3 cards in hand. It's like, sometimes that works out. I don't think you're playing to that angle most of the time. All right, I'm not going to continue this. They're just drawing 2 cards a turn. I've got Bolt, Birds, Forest. I'd actually rather just like not play that game forever and just like go a different direction. Okay, we'll take out another Bolt and maybe another Bolt. I think I'm going to rely on Terminate and Diabolic Edict a little bit more. And maybe because of what I've seen, Grim Lavamancer is actually a consideration. Just like a nice little mid-range option. Could see that being the case. Although if I'm bringing it in, I'd like to bring in 2. Let's see here. Also Dark Ritual, I'm setting myself up for 2-for-1s in a pretty gnarly way. I think I'm going to like remove a Dark Rit and bring in 2 Grim Lavamancers as well. Let's try this strategy. What's the deck? It is Jund Specters. I ripped it right off of Sam Black's Mox Field. Made a few tiny changes that might end up being not the best changes. Sam Black's initial build probably a little bit better. This hand can go turn 2 Blazing Specter into Stone Cold Nothing, so we're gonna mulligan. This hand can go Dark Rit into Hypnotic Specter, so we're gonna keep. The question is, what are we putting back? And why isn't it just a land? I think it is just a land. Wooded Foothills, make them have the thing. Done. Bloodstained Mire, fetch. Do you have it? Go. Swamp, that ain't it. Duress, you get my Diabolic Edict. Best top deck, unironically, is Dark Ritual. Mox, oh, they probably, now the Mox Diamond means they might just have Swords. Although they're gonna put themselves down to like 2-3 cards in hand to do this sequence, so the Spectre starts to look a little bit better if I can draw mana sources, or simply a Dark Ritual, number 2. There goes Factory. Happy to see that threat gone. Ivory Tower, that's not going to be good for you here. Untap, draw. Duress is pretty sweet. Let's Duress them first so they don't randomly discard my only target. Yeah, there we go. Phyrexian Arena gone. Now we'll go to combat. The reason we did it in that order is because if our Spectre made them pitch the Phyrexian Arena, we would have missed with the Duress. Go to 18. You go to 1 in hand. Darigaaz is Caldera. Triggers. Bounce this swamp. You go. You gain no life. You have 1 card in hand, and it is a wasteland. You may... Oh, and it's still a wasteland. No, the wasteland went to the graveyard, which was actually really good for us because we got Darigaaz's. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Go to combat. Negator could actually be good next turn if we rip the land. Take 2, pitch the last card in your hand. It was a swamp. Who cares? Swamp for me. Pass turn. All right, opponent, you're living off the top. I mean, we both are really, but I've got this hippie. All right, that's stone cold nothing. Pass to me. Untap, draw. Land. Yes. Combat. Attack for 2. Fade Wrath of God. Let's go. All right, hippie, you discard nothing. Phyrexian Negator. Good luck, dude. Let's go sideboard cards. All right, you gain nothing. Nice Ivory Tower. Tell me you drew Wrath of God. Stupor? Who cares? All right, if I draw land, I guess I care a little. Oh, nice. I really don't care now. Go to combat, attack with everything. Take 5, 6, 7. Hippie triggers. Do I just like, this is lethal here. So I'm gonna play around Wrath and just hold this Hypnotic Specter. That way, if they Wrath, I've got a follow up and they've got to keep top decking well. And if, like, I guess this dies to swords. Like, I don't die to swords, but like swords has text. But if they just make me discard a thing, who cares? Okay, Graveboard Muse, who gives a shit? Untap, draw. It's a Bloodstained Mire. Do I get in with the Phyrexian Negator anyway? I have to sack 3 things. It's interesting. I guess I could just like play my hippie and attack with the Gator anyway and sack 3 lands, right? Like then it's Wrath or bust. I think that's fine. If I do a Wrath here, I'm gonna have a panic attack, but it is what it is. Black, Hypnotic Specter, combat, attack with every single thing. You have to block, you lose your Graveboard Muse, you don't draw any extra cards. That's fine. Ouch. 3 damage to that, 2 to you. Spectre triggers, you discard a card. And then my Phyrexian Negator wants me to sacrifice 3 permanents, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. Any order, and then it's literally Wrath or bust here. Now if they Wrath, I think we're just dead, but what can we can draw Bolt. I think we left 1 in our deck. Opponent, are you the luckiest little lucky of all lucks? I gotta know. Opponent says GG's, I say GG's. All right, we got one. Although I think we're gonna typically win that matchup if I had to take a guess. All right, thoughts. Sam Black may have been cooking when he didn't put Terminate in his main deck. Also, I could have just played against some matchups where Terminate happened to be not the best option. So take everything with a grain of salt. I think the sideboard's designed pretty well. Will I come back to this? Yes, probably in paper, but not today. That's gonna be all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on the day of upload, well, it depends. I don't know which one I'm putting up first. Hey, if it's Tuesday when I upload this, there's a stream on Wednesday, the 26th, around 11:30 EST, tons of paper magic. If you're watching this on Wednesday, that stream just finished. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.